Greetings. This is the Get To Free Press with George Boston Rhymes, and I'm live on Facebook. I'm also recording on my Sony camera and tripod because I want to do what I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years, and that is highlight that the city and county of Valdosta, Georgia, refuses to fly a Georgia state flag over the courthouse. This is in the Southern Judicial Circuit. This means that our active duty, disabled, retired military veterans and the parents of deceased, disabled, and dead soldiers that died on the battlefield are dishonored. I've asked elected officials here in this area for the last 3 or 4 years to honor our veterans and those that have served this nation. I called on the judges who are here in this courthouse in Lowndes County to demand that somebody find it within their hearts to respect those men and women that have served in the armed forces. However, my voice and my sound have failed on deaf ears. And even the sad part about it is that no other citizen, no active duty, no retired military general, colonel, lieutenant colonel, majors, captain, first lieutenant, second lieutenant, chief master sergeant, chief gunnery sergeant, whatever it may be, nobody seemed to be concerned about that. However, I'm going to say here today that it is indeed a disgrace, and I'm going to continue to say it if nobody else will mention it. And so I'm going to cut off this live feed because apparently they don't want me on. But I will continue on this video and I will put it up later this evening. Now look, let me paint the picture for you. I have been before the City School Board of Education with Superintendent Kaysen about the schools in the city not having a Georgia state flag to honor our military personnel. And it took me, I think it was 2-3 addresses before they finally put it up. But at least they put it up. But here in the city under Mayor Gale and in the county under Chairman Slaughter, I think it is, they do not see a need of respecting those men and women in uniform, especially at Moody Air Force Base. But I'm going to continue to say it if no other veteran, if no other mother and father who have a son or daughter stationed at Moody Air Force Base, if nobody says anything, I'm going to continue to say it because I still respect my code of conduct. Many people that served in the armed forces, they no longer respect their code of conduct, but I do. This is why I do what I do and be criticized for it. Now, if you come to Valdosta and Lowndes County, and if you come to the courthouse, high-powered judges go enter this building, but they see that there is no state flag to honor members of our National Guard in all branches of the service. They've seen the video, many of them. I put up probably 100, 200 or 300 videos probably on this issue. But still, they continue to disrespect our active duty military personnel, retired, disabled, and deceased military veterans, some who gave their life in the defense of this country. If you go over to the city annex, Valdosta and Lowndes County Parks and Recreation, the VA hospital here in Valdosta, Georgia Military College, go out to the museum here, right down there on Central Avenue. Go out to, say, Rainwater Conference Center. You will not see any honor going to the military service personnel here in the state of Georgia. And it is indeed a disgrace. And I'm going to say it again. as a black man that served in the armed forces, knowing that my ancestors faced impediments that many other Americans did not face. Maybe this is why I keep telling and saying to these black and white elected officials, men and women, why don't you stand up for your own children, man and woman? Why is it that you can be elected by the people in Valdosta and Lowndes County, but you don't represent the parents of the children that are now stationed at Moody Air Force Base just a few miles away from here? Now, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I am a rocking chair operator. Moreover, now we know what the real deal is. We know why they don't fly the Georgia flag. But you go to Florida, go to Alabama, Omaha, Nebraska, St. Louis, Missouri. I've gone and I've noticed this. The people in those cities have enough intelligence, enough concern and passion for their fellow American voters, parents, and their children, enough to respect them by flying a state flag to represent the American human beings that serve this nation in time of war and in time of peace. Now, Valdosta City Hall did not have a Georgia state flag. A few months ago, they finally put one up. But it is a disgrace for us here in Valdosta. I ain't talking about the elected officials. The heck with the elected officials. Let's not talk about them. Let's talk about all of these active duty personnel that's gonna watch this video. And they won't say a heavenly word about this. Commissioned officers at Moody Air Force Base, at Warner Robins, Camp Lejeune, Fort Benning, Offutt Air Force Base, Nebraska, Ramstein, Germany, Okinawa, Japan. They're gonna see this video and they're gonna ask a question. Why do they disrespect the American people like this when one of our own who served for over 20 years cared enough to stand up for the men and women in uniform, and they still continues to ignore and slap the military personnel in the face by not flying the flag that represents their service in the state of Georgia. Now, don't blame me. Don't condemn me for trying to heal those that are sick. Why should you blame me? If the flag was flying to honor the people of America, if the flag was flying at Rainwater Conference Center, the Lowndes County and Valdosta Museum, the city annex, Lowndes County and Valdosta Recreation Complex over here on Forest Street. If the Georgia flag was flying on the VA hospital where veterans come to be treated from the injuries some of them received even in combat, if they had a flag flying over Georgia Military College here, and if I stand before you for 3 to 4 years and criticize and speak the truth about elected officials in both the city, the county, and the state not flying a Georgia flag and the flag is up, then I would look like a megalomaniac. I would look like a person who served in the military. Come on, y'all. But we're a liar. But I am not a liar. And I'm going to show you in other videos that I'm going to put up for today, November the 11th, because they say that this is Veterans Day. Well, if this is Veterans Day, why don't they fly a Georgia flag? Why don't they? Now, one of the easiest things there is to do, if you really love your children, if you really love your city, your state, your nation and world, and if you really love and respect the people that voted you into office, you would at least say, boo. You know, I'm laughing, but this is a serious matter to me. But I know a lot of you all don't care. But see, I served during the Vietnam War, and I know that black people went to inferior schools. I know that. My grandmother was disrespected. My grandfather, I watched them. They had to bow down to the white man. They had to go through the back door. And if traveling, they had to go to the woods to use the bathroom. But yet the black man, woman, and their children have fought in every war of this nation. But now they are showing you, they the government. They are showing you that they don't give a dime for neither black nor white people that have served their nation. And so all of us cannot turn our beloved nation into a communist nation. Some of us must stand up and plumb the line and meet every man on the left and part on the square. And the square is nothing more than the word of God, the word of truth, and the word of life. And so if nobody says anything, I want you to know that I will not stop talking about how disrespectful the people that you voted into office is. I'm going to continue to talk about it because I love my children and I love your children, even if you don't love them, even if you don't want them respected. Now, we know they have ceremonies on Memorial Day and Veterans Day. They give our children and those that serve lip service. But when it comes down to the brass tacks of it all, what and when will the American people wake up from the spell of the Leviathan? Now, I'm asking you to Google Valdosta-Lowndes County refused to fly the Georgia flag in honor of those that serve our beloved nation in time of peace, in time of war, and in time of natural disasters. Yes, yes. When Governor Nathan Deal called on the National Guard, when Governor Brian P. Kemp call for your sons and daughters to serve during natural disasters. If they drop a nuclear bomb, what will you say? And should the National Guard armory come out? What if they say, no, we're not going to serve because you didn't serve us and you didn't respect us? Y'all have a nice day. And don't leave it to one person. If you love your children, and if you love your neighbor's children, it seems like to me, when you come to the Lowndes County Courthouse, under the Southern Judicial Circuit, with all these high-profile judges and law enforcement officers and attorneys at law, Esquire, y'all have a nice day. I'm just a man speaking up under our form of government after serving 20 years, and it's painful for me. It may not be painful for you, but it's painful for me to see this level of disrespect. I've been out to Moody Air Force Base this morning. I rode round and I thought about and reflected when I did 2 tours of duty out there. The mission of Moody Air Force Base have changed now. Those men are just as subject to go into combat as in any other branch in the armed forces. But then again, who cares? Bye-bye.